Well, few people predicted last year that the coronavirus would last as long as they have, or that they would cause as much damage to the United States as they have. One person who did predict this was Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. He came on this show 1 year ago this week and issued the following warning.
I'm going to do everything I can to live, but if you said, are you willing to take a chance? And if I get sick, I'll go and try to get better. But if I don't, I don't. And I'm not trying to think in any kind of morbid way, Tucker. But I'm just saying that we got a choice here, and we're going to be in a total collapse, recession, depression, collapse in our society. If this goes on another several months, there won't be any jobs to come back to for many people.
So for saying that out loud, Dan Patrick was savaged. Hundreds of pieces written about him and how he was insane in ignoring the science. That's what happens when you say things that are true. So a year after he said that, we thought it would be interesting to invite Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick back on the show to assess everything that's happened over the past year. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, good to see you tonight. Thanks so much. And thanks for your remarks a year ago, which I think have held up very, very well. So as you look back over 12 months, what do you see and what's changed?
Well, Tucker, America's totally different. A year ago tonight, we were a different America. At that point in time, Trump looked like a shoo-in. We were not nearly as racially divided as we are today. Mobs had not taken over the street. There were no autonomous zones. Most businesses frowned on most of their workforce working from home. Parents couldn't imagine virtual schools. And socialism didn't have America by the throat. And Biden at that time was a shaky candidate who no one knew who would win the nomination. Today he's a shaky president who's taking a wrecking ball to our Constitution and to our liberty, to our freedom. He's destroying everything that this country was built upon. You know, Tucker, after World War II, after the Civil War, after 9/11, those were dark periods in our history, difficult times. Our country changed, our people changed, but we came out better for it, Tucker. We were stronger, we were resilient, we were united. Right. This time, this dark period is the first time we're coming out in worse shape, in a much dire situation because of now this change to socialism that has happened in a blink of an eye, 12 months.
And authoritarianism. I mean, attacking people on their skin color, throwing your political opponents into jail, which they have done a lot. I never thought I'd see it here. I have to ask you, what role do you think, looking back, the COVID lockdowns played in these changes? That was the first big change.
Sure. Well, the other thing that I talked about with you a year ago on this show, we've been on with you since, but a year ago when we talked about that, I said we have to be able to do two things. Take care of our seniors, protect them, and New York obviously didn't, and Governor Cuomo didn't, but take care of our seniors because we knew then, Tucker, the first month into it, they were the most vulnerable. And then secondly, everyone else had to keep working. We had to keep America going. And so if you look at Texas and Florida, the two states that have led the way of doing that, protecting our seniors the best we could, and keep our country or our states open, compare us to New York, which is a shell of itself in the city and in the state. Look at California. They're locked down, and their numbers are not much better, in some cases worse than ours in terms of the pandemic. So America listened to those who said, go hide, have no hope, live in fear. And they created chaos during this time. And that's what socialism feeds upon. It creates fear and it creates chaos. And today, you know, are we on the road to perdition that we can't come back from? I know I watch you a lot. I know that's heavily on your heart and in your mind. And I don't know the answer to that, but I know this. I believe in the American people. I believe, unlike the left who hates America and preaches that every day, I believe most Americans love this country. We've always done better. We've learned from our past. We're a better country today than we were 50 years ago or 100 years ago on many of these issues you've talked about tonight. So I'm counting on the American people to turn back. It's really not even politics, Tucker. It's not even Republican and Democrat. We need some Democrats to stand up. You know, when they wanted to impeach Andrew Johnson in 1868, I think it was Edmund Ross, a Republican, who cast the vote that stopped the impeachment. He stood up, and at that time, it was a very instrumental moment in our country not to go down that road. We need, whether it's Manchin or Sinema, we need some Democrats in the Senate to stand up for American values. Look, Manchin represents a Republican state in West Virginia, and there are a lot of Republicans in Arizona, although it didn't go for Trump this time. So they need to stand up. We need some heroes right now, the Democrat Party, to stand up against the socialist, leftist, progressive, angry people who hate this country in their party. Because I don't think all Democrats in this country believe what their leaders are saying. And we need their party to stand up against Joe Biden.
I think you're exactly right. And there are a lot of really great people, decent people, moderate people in this country in both parties, and they do need to stand up right now. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, thanks for coming back.
Thank you. Thank you, Tucker.
Amen.